you up.
Corey Rubin's in the house.
Yeah, counting it down. Well, welcome back to SCV Today. I'm Dave Caldwell. This is Tammy Edwards. Corey Rubin's over there. Right, Corey? Oh, now he's quiet.
Now he's quiet.
Now he's quiet. He gives thumbs up when before he's yelling and screaming at us like we're children. I don't know. Welcome back in. What?
You are.
We are. I know. I am. Welcome back in. Let's bring in immediately Michael Dougherty. And Michael has written a book, Humorous Stories from Alaska and Beyond. Now, here's the interesting thing, though. We were talking about this during the break just now, Michael. You aren't from Alaska.
No, not at all.
You were born in California.
I was born in California. But when I was 3 years old, my mother and father decided to move to Alaska. And after some very fancy negotiating on my part, they agreed to take me with them.
You were 3 years old.
I was 3 years old.
Okay.
Right. So we went up there in 1950. And we had so many wonderful adventures up there. And our family, humor was a big deal. My father was one of the funniest men I've ever met, with one exception. He could not tell a joke. If he came into the house and said, "I have a joke for you," we all took off.
As long as it came naturally, he was funny.
Yeah, he was funny. And what we did was I just collected these over the years, and people will, when they find out that I'm from Alaska, because I spent a lot of years up there, I met my wife, married her. She's from Alaska. She was actually born and raised there, and both of our children were born in Alaska. But what I wanted to do was to answer their questions and tell the stories that they wanted to hear. And most of them, as I said, had humorous components to them, so they enjoyed them very much. So what I did was I put a lot of them together in the book, and it's a free download online. It's an ebook. That's absolutely free. They just go to my website, and I think they have the website address that they're going to put up. The book obviously isn't free, but I made it worth it because I put 4 extra stories in the book.
In the book.
There's also a CD that I'm telling the stories, but I go out to groups, to businesses, wherever, and tell stories.
So I'm assuming Alaska is a completely different world, so to speak, from here in Southern California.
Oh,
that it's just like different.
One of your guests was up there just a summer or two ago.
Aaron.
And said he thought it was absolutely beautiful and wonderful. I get asked a lot of questions because exactly, Alaska's way up there. It's mysterious. What's it like? I literally have been asked if we lived in igloos. I have to say proudly
When
that
I was
no.
little, that's what I thought. When I was a little
Did
girl,
everyone in
I thought
Alaska?
everyone lived in igloos in Alaska.
Yeah.
I once told somebody that that's true. We did live in igloos, and they had to make really large igloos for the schools, but the problem was they kept melting.
So I'm thinking that this would be a great thing because you can download it for free.
You can download it
and
for
to
free.
listen when you're exercising, when you're on your walks or whatever. I mean,
In your car.
great in your car. Just
In that horrible commute. And I just have to tell you, some of the things that people want to know, for instance, they want to know what causes the northern lights, and have I ever seen them? And I have, and they are absolutely spectacular and hard to describe because they're such a beautiful, beautiful thing. But what I did was I came up with a way of telling it so people can understand, because the scientific explanation takes all the romance and the charm and the mystery out of the northern lights. Here, and you'll never forget this, if anybody asks you, you'll be cool now, because if anybody says, "Do you know what causes the northern lights?" this is what you tell them. You tell them that there's a dude up on the sun whose job it is to take electrified particles of protons and neutrons and send them in a nice package through the solar wind to the Earth's atmosphere. Then there are dudes on the Earth whose job it is to send gases up into the Earth's atmosphere. No, ladies, not that kind of gas. I'm talking about a completely different thing. When the electrified neutrons and protons collide with the gas, it causes the northern lights. And further, you can amaze them more by saying it's actually the gas particles that determine the color of the northern lights. It can be green, like it is on the book cover here. It can be purple. It can be blue. It's an amazing sight. Anyway, that's my explanation of the northern lights. Far better than what the scientists will tell you.
Right, right. So do you have a quick story you could tell us in like 1 minute, a quick story from Alaska?
I will, and it's about living in a very, very rustic log cabin when I was about 8 years old. No running water, nothing. Very, very steep stairs, and there was on the landing, there was a row of nails where we put our coats. I tripped on the top of the stairs one day, the one thing I was worried about doing because the stairs were so steep. I fell down the stairs. I never I never actually tumbled, but I was going like this, and in my mind I'm thinking, the nails, watch out for the nails. Ooh. I'm going to get my face shredded. I put my hands out. I hit with such force, it flipped me over onto a table in the second story. There was a wash basin on the table, because remember, there was no running water. I hit the table in the wash basin, and everything went, and it sounded like a cheap circus. I'm telling you, everything was hitting the floor. I was hitting and the wash basin was bouncing off the table, me and everything. I landed on the floor safely, and my father, all he could say was, "Knock off the noise."
Yeah, Bob, awesome, perfect. Michael Dougherty, thank you very much. The book, Humorous Stories from Alaska and Beyond. You can go to his website and get that. And again, it's my favorite four-letter F word.
Free.
Free. Free.
Not my favorite
Thank you very
four-letter
much.
F word.
No, it's not. And thank you for sharing a part of your day with us. Have a good rest of your day.